What the hell happened to Elon Musk? The bizarre transformation of a tech visionary into a far-right troll. The transformation is staggering when you look at the timeline. In his early appearances on Joe Rogan's show, Musk talked philosophy, artificial intelligence, and empathy. His biographer Walter Isaacson described him in 2023 as someone who had more empathy for humanity in general than he often has for the 20 people around him. That version of Musk built Tesla to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. He spoke with genuine passion about climate change and humanity's future. Fast forward to 2026, and on February 20, 2025, Musk appeared on Rogan's podcast again, this time ranting about civilizational suicidal empathy and conspiracy theories about Democrats importing undocumented immigrants to take over the government forever. The environmental hypocrisy is perhaps the most glaring element of Musk's transformation. Tesla was supposed to be his gift to the planet, a way to phase out fossil fuels and save humanity from climate catastrophe. But after seeing how this turned out, you start to think it was just a clever marketing spiel to sell his cars. Electric vehicles still do reduce emissions compared to gas-powered cars, emitting roughly 50% less carbon dioxide over their life cycle, according to the French Agency for Ecological Transition. But Musk's attention has shifted dramatically. His XAI company chose Memphis for practical business reasons. The site had existing power infrastructure from the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, available industrial real estate in a former Electrolux plant that closed in 2022, and access to massive amounts of electricity. The location wasn't chosen because it was Boxtown specifically. It was chosen because the industrial park in South Memphis had the utility capacity XAI needed to power what Musk called the world's largest supercomputer. But the effect is the same as intentional targeting. The data center ended up near Boxtown, a historically black neighborhood that had already been burdened for generations by industrial pollution, including a now-closed coal ash site from the old Allen fossil plant. The pattern is textbook environmental racism. Polluting facilities consistently end up in communities of color and low-income areas, whether through deliberate placement or because those neighborhoods lack the political power to resist. Boxtown's median household income is just under $37,000, and the poverty rate is twice the city average. These facilities run on dozens of unpermitted natural gas turbines that collectively could power more than 200,000 homes. In April 2026, the NAACP and environmental groups sued XAI for violating the Clean Air Act by operating 27 unpermitted gas turbines in South Haven, Mississippi, to power its Colossus II data center. Research published in August 2025 found that peak nitrogen dioxide concentrations increased by 79% in areas immediately surrounding the data center. Residents reported severe asthma attacks, and one woman, Alexis Humphreys, experienced her first attack in 15 years just 5 days after Musk's Grok 4 AI model launched. Meanwhile, SpaceX's environmental record tells an equally troubling story. Each Starship launch produces approximately 76,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, according to Andrew Wilson, an assistant professor in environmental management at Glasgow Caledonian University in Scotland. That's the same emissions as 250 long-haul jet flights. SpaceX conducted protests from environmental activists in April 2026 at its Starbase facility in South Texas, a sensitive wetland area along the Gulf Coast. Federal and state agencies have fined SpaceX for polluting local waterways. The company went public in June 2026 with a record-breaking initial public offering that briefly made Musk the world's first trillionaire, with his net worth reaching $1.1 trillion. The man who once wanted to save Earth is now getting obscenely wealthy, launching rockets that dump black carbon and soot into the upper atmosphere, contributing to ozone depletion. Musk's political descent has been equally dramatic. In recent months, he's been retweeting British anti-immigration nationalist Tommy Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, a convicted far-right activist and founder of the English Defence League. On January 1, 2025, Musk tweeted, "Free Tommy Robinson," to his 210 million followers on X, calling for the release of a man serving 18 months in prison for repeatedly violating a court injunction that barred him from spreading libelous slurs against a Syrian refugee. Musk claimed Robinson was imprisoned for telling the truth. Even Nigel Farage, the Brexit campaigner whose Reform UK party receives Musk's financial support, has previously distanced himself from Robinson, accusing him of being associated with violent criminals. Senior politicians on the UK right privately contacted Donald Trump's allies, urging them not to endorse Robinson, saying Musk had gone too far. In July 2026, reports characterized Musk's posts on X as having escalated from trolling into open white nationalism. His XAI company sued the state of Minnesota to block a law targeting non-consensual sexual deepfakes. Privacy watchdogs found that XAI's Grok lacks safeguards for sexualized deepfake image sharing. An NBC News analysis from February 2025 found that Musk had boosted far-right political movements to cut immigration and curtail business regulation in at least 18 countries across 6 continents since 2023. He told German voters to move beyond Nazi guilt while supporting the Alternative for Germany AfD, a party so extreme that even Musk's renewable energy interests conflict with their platform. He's funding Republican candidates in the 2026 midterms despite a widely publicized feud with Trump in mid-2025, pledging millions through his America PAC. The personal toll is equally devastating. Musk has 14 children with 4 different women, a sprawling family he barely mentions publicly. His transgender daughter Vivian legally changed her name in 2022, stating in court documents, "I no longer live with or wish to be related to my biological father in any way, shape, or form." Musk blamed neo-Marxists in elite schools for turning her against him, saying it was a general sentiment that if you're rich, you're evil. He claimed to have very good relationships with all the others, but added, "Can't win them all." His relationship with musician Grimes, with whom he shares 3 children, ended acrimoniously. His first wife, Justine Wilson, mother of 6 of his children, one died at 10 weeks old, said after their divorce that there were warning signs. The brand damage is quantifiable and severe. Tesla's brand value dropped from $43 billion at the start of 2025 to $27.61 billion by January 2026, according to Brand Finance. The company lost $15 billion in brand value in 2025 alone as Musk stepped deeper into politics. A July 2026 European survey found that 39% of respondents said Musk negatively affected their perception of Tesla. When reminded of his donations to Donald Trump, Tesla's brand favorability fell to -42 and purchase likelihood to -40. An Axios Harris poll from May 2025 showed Tesla dropping from 8th place in 2021's reputation ranking of America's 100 most visible companies to 95th place in 2025, nearly at the very bottom. Tesla's profit plunged. Stock shed $214.5 billion in a single day after a brutal second quarter in 2026, and brand loyalty collapsed among Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike with no clear recovery in sight.